6 ways to cope with being single. For many people, being single as an adult for an extended period of time is a deeply painful experience, and one that can feel like it will never end. There's a reason why the grief that accompanies singlehood, when one longs to be married, often feels unceasing. It's an experience that is technically known as ambiguous loss. When we lose people we love, it is devastating, but it usually happens in a context in which the circumstances are clear. With clarity, grief can eventually give way to healing. By contrast, an ambiguous loss is one that is unclear and lacks conclusive facts. The loved one is there, but not there. Broadly speaking, there are 2 situations that can lead to ambiguous loss. The first situation is when the person is physically present yet psychologically absent. This would include conditions such as dementia, addiction, extramarital affairs, and workaholism. The second situation is when a person is psychologically present yet physically absent. This includes wartime, missing in action, natural disasters, divorce, and miscarriages. Prolonged singlehood as an adult, when one wishes to be married, is a form of ambiguous loss. Often, single people have a well-formed idea of who their anticipated spouse is and what their relationship will be like when they finally meet. In other words, the anticipated spouse is psychologically present but physically absent. Since no one can predict the future, a single person cannot know for sure whether they will meet and marry their match. This lack of certainty about the yet-to-be spouse makes the loss ambiguous and, in turn, difficult to resolve. A single person who knows for sure that they will remain so would face a clear loss. Clarity allows a path for grieving and moving forward. Alternatively, a person who knows for sure that they will marry in a decade would face a delay in getting married, but can find comfort in knowing that they will have a partner in the future. Ambiguous loss leads to ambivalence. This is because of the difficulty in trying to figure out whether it is better to cope with the lack of information about a longed-for spouse and hanging on, or accepting no spouse and moving on. The uncertainty of whether the anticipated spouse will ever materialise makes it difficult to fully close the door and grieve. Since there is always hope, closure is difficult to attain. The sadness can also render people immobile, making it difficult to move forward. Thus, the stage is set for grief without end. The ambivalence that stems from adult singlehood ambiguous loss can arise from the following 4 conditions. 1. Timing, which refers to defining when singlehood actually begins. 2. Setting, which refers to the dilemma of whether or not to settle for a partner who does not meet the ideal, or prolong singlehood with the hopes that a partner closer to one's ideal will materialise. 3. Viability, which refers to people the single person actually knows and sees as a potential partner, yet are not viable options for marriage. 4. Children, which refers to the ambiguous loss that single and childless adults may feel about their anticipated children, who might also be psychologically present but physically absent. Building on existing work on ambiguous loss, there are 6 ways to cope with the ambivalence that arises from singlehood ambiguous loss. Number 1. Normalising ambivalence. Often, single adults who have been so for an extended period feel conspicuously different, and yet their pain remains invisible. Thus, just knowing that there are other singles who are also struggling with this form of ambiguous loss can be validating. The process of labelling the loss as ambiguous, identifying conflicted feelings about the loss, and framing reactions to the loss as common also helps normalise ambivalence, which can subsequently alleviate anxiety, blame, guilt, sadness, and immobilisation that stems from ambiguous loss. People can more easily manage pain if they can understand and make sense of it. Number 2. Tempering mastery. A key component of coping with ambiguity is overcoming the need for total control over the ambiguous situation without sinking into passivity. This is where tempering mastery comes in. It refers to having a clear understanding about the loss and identifying what can and cannot be changed. Put another way, tempering mastery is striking a balance between the need for control and acceptance of that which cannot be changed. The thinking goes that running from pain causes misery, but accepting situations over which we have no control, just as they are, can diminish it. In the case of single adulthood, people largely have control over searching for the type of person they want to marry. For example, online dating, speed dating events, asking people on dates. But they have limited control over finding their partner. Number 3. Finding meaning. When a loss is mired in ambiguity, it can be harder to find meaning in it. It may take extra efforts to make sense of loss, which would in turn allow for grieving and effective coping. Borrowing from the tenets of existential therapy, exploring one's assumptions can facilitate finding meaning in extended singlehood. More specifically, this means identifying and clarifying assumptions about life, i.e., attitudes, beliefs and values. Examining how assumptions about life evolved. Restructuring assumptions about life so that they are better adapted to one's current needs, and applying the restructured assumptions to the way one actually lives. When a person's narrative, meaning the story they tell themselves and others, about singlehood is formed and shared with important people in one's life, for example a therapist, family, friends, and/or other adults who are single, it creates meaning about and fosters healing from the ambiguous loss. Engaging in rewarding activities can help dispel the feeling that life is less meaningful without a partner. This includes fostering existing close relationships, volunteering, and hobbies. Number 4. Reconstructing identity. Being single can become the defining feature of a person's identity if allowed to. However, singlehood is just a part of one's identity, not the whole. Thus, reconstructing one's identity from the one-note definition of being single to a more comprehensive and layered composition can drive down ambivalence and shore up resiliency. Being single can be complicated in terms of one's identity. Sometimes, single adults may have parents who want to play the role of the non-materialised partner in an attempt to provide support and comfort for their non-partnered children. As a result, being single can give rise to identity ambiguity, as it may leave some singles questioning whether they are an adult or a child. Reorganising the psychological family, that is, modifying the way family is viewed. This can be done in two ways. The first is by reconstructing the psychological family membership, in which there is simultaneous membership in more than one family. The second is to reconstruct roles, which can help manage ambiguity. Since there is no division of labour with a partner, single adults might find themselves undertaking tasks they hadn't anticipated, such as cooking or doing yard work. Thinking about roles more flexibly can also reduce ambivalence and boost resilience. Number 5. Revising attachment. Revising attachment refers to the gradual process of learning to live with the prospect of recovering the lost person, while simultaneously recognising that the loss may become permanent. Being able to think dialectically, which means considering multiple and even opposing views, can facilitate revising attachment and ultimately lead to healing. For singles, the challenge is to strike a balance between the opposing stances of staying connected and letting go. Over time, this can increase resilience. The following actionable steps are recommended. Verbalizing fantasies about the would-be spouse, processing the loss, understanding how life transitions might give rise to anxiety about being single. For example, being the only person in a friend group who is single or childless, finding self-expression through artistic pursuits, and engaging in groups and communities that are of interest where meaningful connections and relationships can be made. It may also be helpful to revise one's expectations for a future spouse and reconsider the qualities and characteristics that matter most. Number 6. Discovering hope. When coping with ambiguous loss, the overarching goal is threefold: to determine which hopes should be released, which hopes should be kept, and which new hopes can bring meaning and purpose to life. We suggest the following for discovering hope: finding spirituality, imagining options, laughing at absurdity, developing more patience, redefining justice, and finding forgiveness. Finally, borrowing from narrative therapy, singles can find hope through or by viewing the problem as external to oneself, re-examining stories by seeing one's own story from different perspectives and considering alternative meanings and endings. And lastly, reauthoring one's own stories. New and revised narratives can be integrated into one's personal psychology by sharing them with family, friends, and other meaningful people who can, in essence, serve as an audience for the new stories. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons and leave a comment below this video to let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, please drop me a comment below this video and let me know what you would like to see next and what type of videos you want me to create for you. I will be able to respond back to you as soon as possible. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.